What is the single most iconic mixed drink named after a city?
The Waco.
What's in a Waco?
Turpentine.
Turpentine and sadness.
The modern road makes a Manhattan.
All right, so we're back again at Steampunk Saloon on 6th Street, hanging out with Trevor. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about fancy mixed drinks like the Manhattan. Just the name intimidates me. It sounds like the city itself, loud, boisterous, and way too sophisticated.
Chuds everywhere.
Okay, I didn't even think about the chuds. Tell me about the history of the Manhattan and why we should be excited about it.
It's just a man's drink because it's pure, smoky, earthy booze.
It's actually the first cocktail that used vermouth as a blend. The origins of it are apocryphal. A lot of people say that it was created for a party at the Manhattan Bar. They claim this, of course, for Winston Churchill's mother. And she requested a particular recipe, the guy made it, and from then on it's been called the Manhattan.
What if you're like me and don't know the first thing? I don't even know what ingredients go into a Manhattan.
It's just simply bourbon,
Yep.
bitters,
Yep.
and sweet vermouth.
Okay, now what are bitters?
This is pretty standard any bar. This is an angostura aromatic bitters. This is like the salt or the ketchup of a drink.
Can I smell it? or-
Yes, absolutely.
It smells like Worcestershire sauce.
Don't.
Okay, yeah, you don't drink them direct.
No.
Okay, all right.
So we're gonna have our mixing tins here. We're gonna start out with 2 ounces of a bourbon.
Bourbon is different from whiskey, is different from scotch.
There are different types of whiskeys.
But bourbon is what?
Bourbon is going to be from Kentucky, and it's at least 50% corn malt,
Got it.
whereas your rye whiskeys are gonna be 51% rye.
In my mind, I'm just thinking Manhattan equals bourbon, always bourbon.
So we're gonna use 2 ounces of some Kentucky bourbon.
All right.
We're gonna use our jigger here because we want balance and you want a good measurement.
Do we have ice in here, or this is just the bourbon goes in
we're,
straight?
we're just adding the bourbon in straight. And now we're gonna do 1 ounce of sweet vermouth.
So we're at bourbon and sweet vermouth.
They all have different levels of floralness, right? Like different aromas, and each of them adds a different thing to the drink.
This is gonna really sweeten up the drink, and we're gonna take 2 dashes of Angostura bitters.
2 dashes. Is Angostura, this is a brand name?
Yes, that is a brand name.
Got
from
it.
Trinidad and Tobago. When you taste a Manhattan, you will taste that bitters in there. Like I said, it's just gonna bring the drink all together. Now, we're gonna take our glass with a little bit of ice and a little bit of soda water, and we're chilling the glass. This drink is typically served up, but you can serve it on the rocks. It all depends on how you like it.
Personal taste.
Right, but when you put it on the rocks, it's gonna dilute the drink.
There's no ice in here at all,
Not yet.
right?
I'm
Do we
about-
shake it? Do we stir it?
This is going to be a stirred drink. Just like any martini and any classic cocktail like this, there's no citrus involved. Therefore, we don't have to shake it. We're gonna fill the tin about 3/4 of the way because we want this vessel to be completely cold.
Most people agree that the best way to serve a Manhattan, no matter how you make it, is very, very cold.
So now you'll see the tin starting to get cold throughout.
You see the condensation forming on the outside,
Yeah.
and you're not vigorously stirring, you're just doing it nice and easy to make sure it gets very, very cold without diluting it.
And we're gonna give you this about 20 rotations or so. So we're gonna discard this. Gentlemen, watch your feet. We're gonna cap this off with our strainer, and we're simply going to pour this out, and you get a nice caramel color. Manhattans are typically served with a cherry. You'll typically see like a cheap maraschino cherry.
Yeah.
But I went a little extra today. Got a gluten-free cherry. Just goes in the center right
Nicely
there.
done.
Some people prefer not to garnish it because that is room where whiskey belongs.
Yeah, but then you get your vitamins, right? Here, I'm gonna give this a taste. That is so smooth.
Yeah.
You can taste some of that smoky flavor in there.
That's what I was talking about with the bitters. That's what really brings the drink together.
Okay, so we got 2 ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 dashes of aromatic bitters. Is there a mnemonic I can remember all this?
Well, I would say 212 because that happens to be the area code.
New York City.
Of New York City, 212, brilliant.
Can't forget
dude,
that.
I'm gonna remember 212 forever. Yeah, I don't know why I'm shaking your hand. I should be drinking this. Take that, get out of here. Oh, so smooth, so smooth. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just playing my favorite made-up virtual reality game, Laser Blazer Razors. It's a fantasy game in which I could actually get fresh razors without going to a grocery store and feeling like a criminal as they unlock glass cases and give me a background check just to buy some freaking overpriced razors. But it's no fantasy. Head on over to dollarshaveclub.com/rogue right now. If you're like me, you don't want to go out and buy fresh razors. That's a pain in the butt. Let the razors come to you and get the best shave possible. The perfect modern rogue is equal parts warrior, scoundrel, and gentleman. Let's take care of the gentleman side of things. dollarshaveclub.com/rogue. They're supporting us, so let's support them by supporting your chiseled good looks with fresh razors and that awesome shave butter. I'm gonna simulate the shave butter again. It's all so smooth.